So let me start out with a disclaimer really quick. I am very tired and still very upset. So if I use any kind of swear words or, those kind of words that you're not used to, I'm very sorry in advance. But if you guys have been here or been listening to any of my videos, especially one on last Friday where I was talking about how I'm just kind of over everything and I just wasn't even going to look for jobs for the rest of the day and all that. Yeah. So things got worse on Friday evening. And I'm going to tell you guys all about that. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for being here. I am so happy to be back here today. If you're new to my channel, my name is Christy, and on this channel we talk about everything and anything that happens in life over 50 and all the unexpected. So today we're talking about hackers. I know this has been a lot of the big trending stories going on over the internet and over YouTube and different things, and I've been dealing with my own thing that from job searching. So thankfully, and say a prayer if you pray. You send me good luck, good vibes. I can use it all because right now I'm in a battle, and that's why I haven't been here, because I've been trying to keep hackers from getting into my computer. I've been through all sorts of things over the last few days. I would have really liked to have just been out and, relaxing and really enjoying the weekend. Maybe go out to the lake and, watch everybody boat around or something. But no. So Friday night, or I should say Friday evening, I finally decided to turn my computer back on after a long week last week, and I turned it on and I'm sitting here and I'm pulled up my email, just kind of looking at it. Nothing busy, of course no job offers. But just kind of doing my thing, and then all of a sudden in maybe 5 minutes I'd been on here and it just blue screen again. My mouse is moving all over without me touching it. So I immediately, I'm hitting the off button. I'm yelling at my husband to unplug the router to the computer or to the internet so my computer can be disconnected from the internet as fast as possible. If you guys don't know, do that if your computer screen turns blue. Disconnect it from the internet immediately as fast as you can, because what has happened is either, and I hope it's not from a data breach, because I know those are even worse than what I think this is. And then I think that somebody has just put something into a temporary thing on my computer that has allowed them to get into my email and stuff. It's been kind of a nightmare, especially when you're already stressed out about finances and trying to get a job, and now you're worried about somebody taking what little bit you have left, or for God forbid, your identity, because money's money, credit's credit. Who you are and your livelihood is all you have really in this world. So you got to hang on to that, because you definitely don't want to, end up in a bad situation where you don't exist. Anyway, so Friday night, it pops up again. I'm disconnecting everything. I had the phone number still, so of course I pull up my phone and there's an Amazon thing, so trying to get into my Amazon, so I call in Amazon, and they're so helpful at Amazon. I just think they're very nice people over there, whoever they are working at Amazon. You guys are doing a good job, especially when things like this are happening. You're very good at what you do. So I call Amazon customer service and I'm letting them know, please help me. These people are trying to get in there. They're trying to order gift cards. They're trying to do, whatever. And of course they were so helpful. And then they stay with me on the line while I went in and changed my passwords all again and all that good stuff. And this time we actually removed all of the payment cards that were on there, gift cards, everything. I just had them all taken off, took those off. They stayed with me on the phone for that. So now I'm going to have to figure out how to do the whole Amazon payment, because I will have to put something on there eventually. So Got that all taken care of. Changed all my passwords again on my computer for my Google and my, all that good stuff and whatever. Thought everything was great. It's getting late now on Friday. It's now like 7:30. I haven't even made dinner. So I get up and I just make something simple for dinner and, we watch some TV. I shut everything off at that point and went to bed. Wake up Saturday morning. And it's again. You guys, I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry. I was cursing worse than a sailor. I don't know what a sailor curses like, but I'm sure I was a lot worse than that because it happened again. And this time I went in because obviously they can't do anything to Amazon, but it wasn't Amazon this time. They were trying to get into it with something else. And thank goodness I don't use the account they were trying to get into. I know a lot of people that do. I know a lot of people that hold a lot of money on those types of accounts. And mine, of course, has nothing connected to it and nothing on it. So if they even got in there, it wouldn't have made it much of a difference. So I went on there, fixed all that, and at this point I had it. What am I going to do? It's Saturday. It's Memorial Weekend. Oh, by the way, I hope everyone had a nice Memorial Weekend and was able to spend it with family and friends and enjoying hopefully you had beautiful weather. I know we didn't do a whole lot. We just kind of did our little drives and things that we do. But I, do like to respect and honor those who have served and given the ultimate sacrifice for us. And for us to be able to sit here and have these kind of conversations, the world would be a lot different if those people had not been there. Getting a little choked up. Excuse me. Anyway, so yes, thank you to all you who have served. Thank you. So where was I? Okay, so Saturday morning. Anyway, so I get that account secure. It's not anything I'm too worried about. But now I know that this isn't gonna stop by simply changing all of my passwords again. So this time I went on my phone because I don't want to do anything on the computer too much. I want it completely offline. So it's completely offline. I pull out my phone and I go to, I think it was Gemini. I don't think it really matters, but I think that's the one I went to. Anyway, and I tell it everything I'm going through. How many times it's happened, how it's happening, and it only seems to happen, when I'm sitting here on the computer. It doesn't seem to come up as anything when I'm not on the computer. I'm not getting alerted when the computer is not on or anything like that. So it tells me, okay, we're gonna have to start going through files and looking through, and it's telling me different things to look through. Okay, I can do some IT stuff, but it's getting to the point where I'm becoming quite IT illiterate, and I like step-by-step instructions, and I'm so frazzled and upset about the whole thing that I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying not to think that, oh great, now I gotta go buy a whole new computer and everything else, and what is going on, and so I'm trying not to lose it. My poor husband is in the other room, and I know he can hear me just. Anyways, so from I don't know what time, 7 whatever in the morning, I start in trying to fix it. So as I'm looking and it's telling me go through this list of files and this list of files and go into this part of your computer and this section and go to this file and go through these and I'm not finding anything, you guys. I'm not seeing what it's asking me to find in there, and I'm like, forget it. Okay, go back to the step 1 where we start going through files, and I tell it to go back to the step 1 because I'm telling it literally, tell me step by step because I don't want to miss something. I don't want to get into the wrong thing and be looking at the wrong item. So I tell it, okay, step by step it. And then we go back to the first step where the first file, it had me open and go through. And at that point, I'm like, I've got it on, voice so I can talk to it. And I'm literally like staring at my computer screen, going down every single item in the file and naming it off into the chat because I can't figure out what I'm supposed to be looking for. Once I did that, it was able to analyze every single thing I just pretty much told it I have in there, as far because I don't know what I'm supposed to have and what I'm not supposed to have. I have no idea, you guys. So once I did that, it was able to find which ones that were off, weird, that weren't supposed to be there, that it could have easily been installed because they, I told it I don't know how to install these kind of things. So it knew exactly that I probably didn't install these things. So I was able to go in, uninstall, get them out of there. Oh my gosh. And then it had me go, I went through, I don't know how many file folders of stuff. And there's a lot of stuff in there, but I went through every single one. Specifically, no matter what it was, I didn't care if it was something I put in there or not. I was going to name it off because I really didn't know. And I really want this to end. And of course, it's a Saturday, it's a holiday weekend. What are you going to do without driving, an hour out of town to go to Best Buy to have somebody see if they even have time to look at it at my computer, and then it's going to cost me money, and then there's this, and not to miss a holiday weekend, and you don't really want to drive towards the city with all the rest of the traffic around on the holidays. So anyway, y'all, I think I fixed it. Fingers crossed. But here's the other problem. What they've done, and I didn't know what it was called. I had to look it up. It's called spoofing. Okay, whatever. I don't know what this crap is. So what they're doing now is now they have my email address and whatever kinds of files they could get out of my whatever they were in with my email. So now I'm getting all kinds of random emails about secure documents. Apparently this is a thing. So if you guys ever get strange emails about security documents and you have no idea what it is, I would suggest don't open it. And if it's something real that somebody's going to contact you in more ways than just email, because let's see, so this morning, it's now Monday, I have not had the blue screen, knock on wood, because I'm still paranoid. I don't want to apply to any jobs, I don't want to sign up on anything, I don't want to order anything, I've got everything as far as I can, as secure as I can. I got a call this morning from our property management office letting me know that they got a strange email from me that of course I didn't send, and they were confused, and I told them, of course, don't open it, it's fraud, it's they're trying to get into whatever they can, they're trying to, and I think too with these emails that are going out to, unfortunately, people that I know and or affiliate with my name on it. So that's what it is. It comes across as an email. It looks like it's from me, but it's not from me. And once they click on something in the email, then their system can become infected as well. So do not click on anything that you are unfamiliar with at all. Don't click on any of the little links they offer you. Don't, if they want you to email go to a website that's supposedly where they're coming from, anything like that. You guys, the way I find out a lot of my information is from people who know a lot more than I do out here on YouTube, or an AI system that's going to know different things that, I highly recommend. Get on there, educate yourself. I don't want to give you any wrong information. This is just the things I've done, the things I've used, what I've been dealing with over this lovely holiday weekend that I got to stress out through the whole thing over. Yeah, so uh, uh, here's some tips. One, if you have one password for all of your accounts, you better fix it right now. Don't do that. I'm so thankful that my sister, I don't do that. Thank goodness. But I know they're really hard to remember every password for everything. So for us old schoolers, you remember back in the day, people used to carry little black books, you know, those little things, called a phone book. Yeah. Maybe some of you had one. Anyway, go get one. Go out and get yourself one of those little black books. Every time you have an account, write your account. You've got your alphabetized, you know, in there. Every account you have, go into that account. And sometimes accounts can be under different names too. For I can't come up with one right off the top of my head that I've seen, but sometimes when they email you, it's under a different corporate name because they're sub companies. Anyway, you can document all that information in your little black book. And they say don't write your passwords down. When your password is 16 characters of God knows what, that symbol, this uppercase, that, who cares? Write it down in that black book. Keep it with your passport in your home if you have to, you know, to make sure it's secure. But keep them written down in there because you need to have a different password for every single account you have, even if you think it might be okay. A lot of people say also don't save your passwords, but you know, that's really up to you. Like I said, educate yourself. Find people who know more than I do out here in the world. You know, hear what they have to say. Google it, or I think it's Google. I think it's Google. They have a whole list of how to protect your information. Anyway, just reach out to people who do this for a living. You can, if I love Best Buy, I'm not affiliated with them, but they're a great store. Their Geek Squad employees are super knowledgeable, super friendly and helpful. So I always call them if I am at all like completely worried about something. I would just call them, ask them. They can give you great advice. They can also give you places and websites, you know, to actually go to make sure your things are being done correctly. So, you guys, with all that, it has been, just a whirlwind. So, don't fall for these phishing scams. If it's a weird email, don't open it. If you're applying for jobs like I have been, and this is how I've gotten into this mess, is, you know, opening an email from somebody I'm supposed to be getting ready to schedule an interview with, and I got all excited, and I looked at, it was the same name as the person that I looked up. I looked at the email. I did not look at the email close enough because it had some characters in there that were not in the original email. And when I clicked on the Teams bar to set up my appointment, it didn't work. And I clicked it again, just thinking maybe I didn't click it or something. And it didn't work. And then I replied to the email letting them know that it didn't work. But because I missed that one discrepancy in their email address from the real one that I had been in contact with at some point in time, I've been dealing with this. And luckily, this is all I've been dealing with. I have been out here researching, and I have heard horror stories way worse than mine from others that have lost way more than I had. So I might have lost some passwords and, you know, deleted a bunch of email accounts that I don't particularly use all the time. So I don't know if I'll ever hear from those people. I don't know. But yeah. Also, you guys, The other thing I have been finding out, like I talked about, I think it was my last video that I was talking about the data centers and all that kind of stuff. And I've kind of like, I wouldn't say taking a trip down the rabbit hole, but falling completely to the bottom of the craziest stuff about AI that, oh, we'll get into it in another video because this one's actually getting probably way too long. But I wanted to get on here and share this with you guys because this is where I've been for the last few days. I've been afraid to get on my computer too much, especially if I'm not sitting right in front of it so I can monitor if anything happens. Protect yourselves, educate yourself on it. Yeah, it's no fun to have to deal with. Get that little black book for all your passwords so you can have it handy, and there's no issues if something does happen and something does get taken over. Make sure if you're sitting at your computer and the screen turns completely blue and starts flashing and your mouse starts moving, just shut it off. Shut it all down. Make sure, also on your phone, make sure you set up two-step security. So that's some of the things that you can do on there as well, and that is very helpful, where you're going to have to either enter a PIN number or an additional password of some sort, or they have to send it to your text you for a PIN number or something like that. And make sure your phone is secure, just in case you ever drop it somewhere and somebody can't just pick it up and turn it on and hit your apps and open them right up. Make sure you have some type of security on your phone for that reason. So yeah, you guys, it's been one thing after another, but I am so happy to be back here with you guys doing the YouTube. I never thought I'd really be this happy about YouTube. So yeah, if you guys are interested in doing YouTube, make sure you check down in the description box the link to school, to Common Sense Methods with Kevin. He's a great coach. He's full of information. I mean, more than you can even ask for, and he's given it to you. So, but you can learn at your own pace, and he's just there to answer your questions, help you out, give you advice. So school, Common Sense Methods with Kevin, and I will leave that in the description box for that link. Okay, you guys, I think that was all I was going to talk to you about today. I'm again so happy to be back. Thank you so much for being here. Like my video if it gave you any kind of supportive help. Subscribe so you can hear what's coming next. And you guys have a wonderful day.